Imagine you're in the wilderness, climbing trees, minding your own business, when suddenly... Ow!
Oh my goodness! Sir, are you okay? Sir? If you notice someone who is laying on the ground hurt, you must first ask for their consent to aid. Sir, may I help you? If you receive no response, then you must first assess the damage. I noticed his leg was bent in a funny position, so I cut his pant leg open to check the damage. After further evaluation, I determined his leg must be broken, and my best option was to splint. Seeing as how we're in the wilderness, I had to make do with my natural resources. Look! A straight stick! Oh, and it's my lucky day. Bandages! When you're in the wilderness and have no real medical instruments to use to make a splint, find two straight objects, sticks, two things to tie the sticks together with. This could be cloth from when you rip the pants to check the damage. You're going to take your two sticks and lay them parallel to the broken leg. And the point of splinting is to immobilize the joint, so you have to have them partly on the lower leg and partly on the upper leg. Then you're going to take your cloth and gently lift up the leg and put it under the splint and tie it one cloth to the lower leg, tight enough to hold the splint together, not too tight so that you cut off the circulation. Double knot it so it stays in place. Be gentle. Then you take your other piece of string or cloth and you do the same thing to the upper leg. Tying it above the knee, tight enough to hold it in place, not too tight. You cut off the circulation. Again, double knot it so it stays in place. Check and make sure they're straight and that your cloth is tied securely. And there you have a makeshift splint. Imagine you're walking in your basement, minding your own business, when suddenly... Oh!
Give me your purse! Ah!
Ow, my arm! Ow! Oh! Ah! My arm!
To treat a broken arm, there are many different things you can do. Surgeries are a very common thing for broken arms, and something you would need to do before surgery would be to immobilize it. One way to immobilize a broken arm would be to splint it. You need a couple things to splint an arm. You need gauze, triangle bandages. You can pick pretty much any of this stuff up at Walgreens. And you need something to act as an immobilizer. It's kind of it stabilizes the whole arm. Many doctors use pieces of wood and stuff like that, but we're going to use this because it works pretty much the same. The first thing you need to do is ask your patient what their pain level is at. What is your pain level at?
A 9.
A 9. Okay, that means you need to be a lot more careful with it, and you need to ask them to assist you as much as they can because they won't go past their pain threshold. May I bring your arm over here a little bit? Okay, thanks. You want to bring this is your first step, you want to bring the immobilizer over to here, but not too far past the elbow, but you want to be over it a little bit. So about an inch past it's fine. If I can show them. This is, her elbow's here, the immobilizer's here. Alright, your second step, you can ask your patient to assist you with this part. If you can hold the magazine there for me. You want to bring your gauze and wrap it around the top part of your stabilizer. There's really no part, it's a little different than splinting a leg because you don't really need to go above and below the elbow because there are other things that you do after this that will help immobilizing it. When you bring this around, You want to bring it tight enough to where it's not cutting off the circulation. You want to ask your patient if it is. Is this too tight at all?
No.
No. Okay, so this was kind of bad. Hang on. Alright, it kind of fell apart there, sorry. You want to bring this around like this. Tighten it up. And again, is it too tight at all?
Nope.
No? Okay. Then you want to slide it underneath right here, or any other way you can kind of stop the tie so a knot will work or anything. You want to take your second piece of gauze. This one's a little longer. Doesn't really matter how long it is as long as you can wrap it around a few times. You wrap it around just like that. Takes a couple times. Sorry. I don't want to hurt her elbow. Make sure you're keeping it tight enough where you're going to immobilize the stabilizer. A lot of big vocabulary here. Alright, slide it right underneath right there. And now you have it tight. It isn't too pretty, but that's because the gauze is kind of big and her arm is a little small. Gotta make do with your supplies. Your next step would be to grab your triangle gauze right here. It's the shape of a triangle, and tie a knot. I normally like to take the top part of the triangle and tie a little tiny knot up here, and that acts as more of a pocket for the broken arm. Basically right now we're making a sling. You want to put this on the outside of the arm, just like this. Hold it there, bring this around, and then this part underneath, just like that. And then basically you have your victim or patient holding it up there, and see how this turns into a pocket. This knot that was right here is now a pocket. You come up top and you tie it. Any knot works. I just like to do a little. Basically, it's just a normal knot. Can't really see it, but it's just a normal knot, and then that immobilizes it, so she can't move it. Is this okay? Are you feeling? All right.
This is good, doctor.
All right. The second part you do is take your second piece of triangle gauze, kind of make it into a tube or a just long string like this. You want to wrap it around. This acts as more of a this is the main part of the whole splint, as she won't be able to move up or down, and it helps for transport. A lot of EMTs and stuff like that do this. You want to tie the knot right there. Is that too tight?
Nope.
Nope. And now if you see, it's immobilized and she will not be able to bend her arm either. That's basically it, and now she will be ready for surgery or whatever she will need to do for the next step on fixing her arm.